Hey everyone, and welcome to Leaguecraft 101. Today we're talking back timings. So good back timings are some of the most inconspicuous ways you can push or create advantages in League of Legends. Good back timings and wave manipulation to set up kills, dives, and objectives are only generally done by Master and Challenger players, maybe some Diamond players as well. Anecdotally, I hardly ever see anything above elementary wave manipulation in low to mid Diamond, and that's the top 1%. So this is a really great way to hone in and exploit where 99% of the player base is lacking. So the first and most obvious time to back is when you get a kill. In Golden Plat, I often see people kill someone, stay in lane, and then the villain either comes back with items and kills the hero, or just zones the hero out because they have item advantage. So now to a clip. In this clip, we get a good hook on Ezreal, and Alistar goes in for a retaliation trade. I make sure to chase down the alley while he's retreating so I can get as much return damage on him as possible. Ali then goes for another play, trying to combo out of the bush, and we manage to turn and kill him. At this point, I'm just looking for a back timing. This is because I can item spike here with Sorc Shoes, and we can take advantage of Alistar's lack of ult. While it's true that we can push the lane out here and reset it on turret with our 2v1 advantage, I know that if I back here and Ezreal stays, we have really strong lane pressure, minion crash dive pressure, and turret pressure once we get back to lane. In addition, Dragon is spawning within 2 minutes, so Ezreal's not going to be able to find a good back timing if we just keep pushing waves to threaten the turret, and eventually they're going to have to concede both the turret and the Dragon. Since Ezreal didn't recall, now that I've shopped and he hasn't, even though he denied us one minion wave, we now have lane and turret pressure. So Alistar comes back to lane, and we get a really good gank from Zac, who knows that Alistar doesn't have ultimate. So while I'm setting up the minion crash dive, Zac just Rambos into the turret, and we manage to pick up Ezreal as well. We then get to reset the wave on the turret so that we can freeze it when the wave bounces. So to counteract this, the enemy bot lane knows that they have to reset the wave on the turret, otherwise we're just going to permanently freeze the wave in front of our turret and zone them off of all the farm. Luckily, our Zac is a step ahead, and he also knows that they're going to try and reset the wave, so he sets up a repeat gank to take advantage of their attempt to bounce the wave, and we kill them again and take the turret. And this effectively ends the game at 16 minutes, because Ezreal's going to be obsolete for the next 15 minutes, while Thresh and I go around the map snowballing our advantage to other lanes, taking turrets and just controlling the enemy jungle. So let's revise what happened here. In step 1, we got the advantage with the Alistar kill and backed with the item spike. In step 2, since Ezreal didn't recall, we can bully him out of the lane with our superior items. In step 3, we can look for minion crash dive pressure if they play safe by pushing a big wave into the turret and diving with Zac. Since they played it riskily, we got to convert it with a gank. In step 4, since we bounced the wave off the turret, they have to try and reset the wave, and we can bust them with a repeat gank and then end the game. If you know where their jungler is and you've calculated you have enough time to push and recall safely, you can try to reset and bounce the wave off the turret. Now sometimes this can be risky and takes a long time, since you have to churn through a lot of minions, and it's not uncommon to die to a jungle cleanup or a teleport gank. So if you don't have time or safety to push, you can calculate where the wave's going to push to, then recall, and let the wave push to your turret where you can freeze it. So to figure out where the wave will end up with no enemy intervention, just count the number of excess minions they have, and for each third of the lane past halfway, their wave just needs one additional minion to keep pushing towards you. So in this clip, we figure out that Jinx and Leona have based, and we can see Shaco's mid. So we're free to push the lane in here and try to bounce it off the turret. Jinx and Leona have based around 5 seconds ago. However, since it takes roughly 30 seconds to walk from base to lane, and I have no wave clear, by the time I push it into turret, they're just going to get back to lane and be able to cancel all my recall attempts. This means that I'm going to have to walk all the way back behind the turret to safely recall after pushing the lane in, and I won't be able to find a good back timing. Jinx is then going to be able to freely bully me with her items and set up dragon and dive pressure. But since we have more than 3 excess minions here, if we recall, by the time we get back, the wave will still be pushing towards us, so we can get back to lane at the same time and have great gank pressure. So calling the jungler to our lane just when the enemy gets back to lane, and our wave is pushing towards us like this, can result in easy gank and dragon, since we can catch them out while they replace their wards, or if they overextend to farm. Our Vi finally realizes that bot is really easily gankable, and we get a free double kill in dragon. What's interesting to note here is that a lot of players will just brush this off as getting camped or getting ganked, and they're not going to realize exactly what they did wrong to get into this situation, mainly because their mistake is really inconspicuous and they did it over 2 minutes ago. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and it gave some insight into how back timings and wave manipulation can be used to push and create devastating advantages. So understanding these wave manipulations is especially important for junglers, because they have the ability to go anywhere on the map, minion crash diving and punishing wave reset attempts. So until next time guys, peace.